Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a while, but I am back and hopefully gonna get it together for the rest of my YouTube channel career. I wanted to do a video today basically about the things I have learned since I've been here in Germany. I've been here for a year, so it's in commemoration of that. And I just wanted to share that experience. I didn't do like a 6-month or when I first got here type of thing, so I thought that a year would be a good benchmark for moving forward. And I just want to talk about what I love, give some advice, and just explain how I've been doing. I want to specify that I am in Germany as a military spouse, and I explain that a little bit later, but that's where my viewpoints are coming from. And so if you're here as an expat or just for school or for a job, it may be different for you. So please have that in mind. I would also like to address the fact that I don't know everything about Germany yet. I'm literally still learning. Being somewhere for a year and being in that certain area, especially when you're in a country where you don't speak the language, it's definitely harder to get a clear view of things. I definitely encourage anyone watching this video who is from Germany, also spit out some facts about Germany that you love about Germany or that are just facts in and of themselves. So let's share some information. I actually drove on the Autobahn for like a quick second and I was completely nervous, but I came to find out that because I was even though I was nervous, when I got back to a point on the highway where there was a speed limit, I was actually going too fast by accident and I got a speeding ticket. So I just started driving last year. I'm gonna say that it's not that bad. Don't be intimidated by it. There are some videos on YouTube that will make you kind of nervous, and I'm just like, y'all, stop. And that's why I was nervous when I first was thinking about driving on the highway. I'm still nervous. The freaking highway is just beautifully paved. Like, there's literally no bumps, and it kind of makes you more nervous because it kind of makes you go faster, in my opinion. Because of that, it makes it easier to drive as well, which is something that in Boston, it's not all of the roadways, even ones that you can drive fast on, are completely perfect. And here I feel like they get really close to perfection. Plus it's beautiful, with the trees, and we shouldn't be paying attention to that, but you kind of only have one thing to do, right? Just kind of going straight. You're not weaving through traffic at all points, and if there is traffic, then it just slows you down. Just don't be afraid of it, Anyways, that is just my spiel. Another thing that will give you comfort while driving in Germany in general, not just on the Autobahn, is that Germans are really good drivers. I've seen practices here that I do not see in Boston at all. People aren't trying to move fast to get nowhere. And that literally makes me so super happy, especially because there are a lot of streets that are so slim. You're like, how is this still a two-way street? People here just know how to drive so that a line of people will stop just so that you can go. Germany is incredibly green and beautiful. And I say that living in a very green area, where people travel a lot, but I've been on a train ride to Munich. It was just a beautiful train ride through and through because there was so much greenery, so many farms, and you just see you're like, wow, that is insane. I think of Germany as Berlin, Munich. It's just city type of vibe. Germany is actually referred to as Deutschland, which is not something growing up in America you actually hear about that often. So coming here and seeing that, I was like, wait, does that mean Germany, or does Deutschland mean something else that I'm not aware of because I'm not from here? If you are German and you want to clarify on that, please put that in the comments. I'm not here to be an expert, but that's just what I've noticed when we're filling out applications for things, or we're looking up directions. I see Deutschland through and through. So the next point is that there are German Alps. And when we think of the Alps, we think of the Swiss Alps, right? We're about to go to Switzerland and go to the freaking Alps, and it's gonna be beautiful and all this stuff, but I went to the Alps last year, the German Alps, and it was stunning. They run through a few different countries, including Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. They're pretty expansive, and that's not something I thought of, I had never been, so I didn't think of the Alps being in Germany, and we just went, and it was incredible. Growing up in America, you really have a weird sense of the world sometimes. I don't know, for me it was that way. And if you're in the military, there is a base called Edelweiss, where you have access to see the Bavarian Alps. You can do a bunch of things, obviously ski and do all that wonderful stuff, so please take advantage of that if you are in the military. There are upwards of 25,000 castles in Germany, and some of those castles are not even completely documented, so we kind of have this estimation, but there may be more. So I think that's so cool. On our way to the German Alps, actually, we saw so many more castles than I even expected. I live 10 minutes walk from a castle, and then there's another one probably 30 minutes away, but there are probably some in between here and there. So it is pretty astonishing. The fact that they're still here after centuries upon centuries is amazing and incredible. And so if you're in Germany or have access to Germany during this time, please take advantage of seeing at least one castle during your travels. Yeah, I didn't even think about castles in a number until I just looked it up, like, I want to see more castles, but how many are there? So yeah, that's cool. Another thing is, of the castles, I'm gonna say this wrong. Neuschwanstein Castle, the one that is humongous and beautiful. We all know, at least if you've been to Germany, you find out that the castle that is trademarked for Disney is actually a derivative of this Neuschwanstein Castle. If you are in Germany and you're American, please understand that Amazon is not just Amazon.com, it's Amazon.de as well. There are warehouses and things you can get from warehouses, manufacturers, whatever you have that are based in Germany. I had been primarily using Amazon.com when I got here for obvious reasons. I'm just accustomed to it, and they ship to the APO military addresses. But over the course of time, I decided I wanted to try Amazon.de. Now, there are certain things that you can obviously get on Amazon.com to the base that you can't get from Amazon.de, just for specific items or items that are just more common there. It may be cost less, so you want to grab them from Amazon.com. But Amazon.de is spectacular. Anything that I can get, I will look on Amazon.de first before Amazon.com, because I can get it so much faster. We have Prime, so we can make sure that certain items that we want just get here super quick. And there is a certain hassle when you have to go to base and get your mail, especially now when the mail offices are open at certain times, and there are just different regulations going on in regards to that. So. Another thing is food. I actually wanted to mention this first, but I didn't, which is like crazy because I'm hungry right now. Schnitzels, the beer, the wine, the pork knuckle, which I'm not even gonna try and say in German. It's delicious. The food here was something that I was not expecting to be so good. And I don't even know why, because I'm a heavy meat and heavy bread eater, so I don't understand why I wasn't thinking about the food to begin with. Like, the food would be good to begin with. I have had some of the best food that I've ever had here, and I think it's because there's so much focus on a few food items that they are just so good. They're just perfected. The wine here is delicious. I go to the store and I can see where it comes from, and a lot of it is sourced directly from the area I live in. Having the ability to get wine that's like 2 hours away in Hamburg or something like that, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, don't sleep on the wine, the Riesling, it's delicious. Still on the food category actually, is the fact that there are tons of grocery shops in one area. So I can say that when I was in Munich, it was very similar. Where our hostel was, there was grocery stores within distance, walking distance in a short drive. Here, where I'm in a more rural area, being able to have maybe, I can think of 3 options at the moment. There's an Aldi, a smaller one, a larger Aldi, and Edeka, which is all right down the street, which within about 7 minutes drive. That gives me a sense of security whenever I need something. Another thing is police presence. Like I said, I got a speeding ticket and I wasn't pulled over for speeding. I didn't have an experience with an actual person. It was from a speed camera. If you go over a limit, the speed camera will blur, I saw my face as I was speeding, very calm, thinking I was cool, but the camera caught me. That to me, effective, right? I'm now more aware of speed cameras while I'm traveling and while my husband's driving. As far as getting pulled over, I don't really have many instances of hearing about other people getting pulled over or whatever. It's just interesting to see. Culturally, it's just interesting. So yeah, that's all. Another and last thing, I think this is the last thing, is that I think it's the Deutsche Bahn. Basically the train system. So we have used a train to go to Trier. We have used a train to go to Rudesheim during the Christmas markets. It's such a great experience to be able to rely on a very fast and effective, clean train system to go from one area of Germany to another. Oh, and we would use it when we went to Oktoberfest. The only thing I would say is you cannot be late, because 1 minute past your time, your schedule, the train's gone, you gotta buy another ticket, like just take the L and proceed with your business, because there's no being late to the trains, which I honestly like. It's something to get used to for me, because I just feel like I don't know, like I'm entitled, I guess. Like if I'm late, then the train's about to be late. Like that doesn't make any sense. And here, it especially doesn't make any sense. That wraps up this video, 24 minutes in. If you like this content, please subscribe, please like this video, and like I said, always comment something relevant to the topic at hand for the betterment of other people who may be watching it and scroll through the comments, because I know when I watch videos, I sometimes am listening to it and I'm scrolling the comments to see what other people have to say. Bye, y'all.
Someone who cared, you held it up.